AT&T, Paul Revere, and Mini-Me are all on this day. Hey, welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is January 1st, 2021. It is the first day of the year. We only got 364 days left in 2021. Let's all hope that it's so much better than 2020. I know not just switching over a day on the calendar is going to change things with the snap of a finger, but we could still hope, right? Anyway, today is the first Friday, obviously, and it is the first week, obviously. It is the 12th day of winter and the 78th day of spring. If today's your birthday, you are a Capricorn, and your birthstone is a garnet. Like I said, today is New Year's Day, and it's celebrated every single year on January 1st, and it's celebrated with people sleeping in, recovering from hangovers, and watching college football bowl games here in the United States. I'm sure it has deeper meaning in other places. All right, let's see what else has happened on January 1st. 1808, the United States bans the importation of slaves. You know, they could keep them at this point, but they just couldn't bring any new ones in. If you're going to stop them from being imported into your country, shouldn't that tell you that owning people is kind of wrong in the first place and you should probably let all the slaves go? Never understand that stuff. Anyway, moving on. 1847, the world's first Mercy Hospital is founded in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania by a group of Sisters of Mercy from Ireland. The name will go on to grace over 30 major hospitals throughout the world. 1902, the first American college football bowl game, the Rose Bowl between Michigan and Stanford, is held in Pasadena, California. This year, actually, they're holding it in Texas because of the COVID restrictions here in California. I don't live in California anymore. I still say here for some reason. But it's the first time the Rose Bowl will be playing out of California and maybe even outside the Rose Bowl, I believe. 1927, the New Mexican oil legislation goes into effect, leading to the formal outbreak of the Cristero War. 1932, the United States Post Office issues a set of 12 commemorative stamps celebrating the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. 1934, the law for the prevention of genetically diseased offspring comes into effect in Nazi Germany. Basically, if your kids had a birth defect, you couldn't have them. Yeah, again, don't know what people were thinking back then. 1978, Air India Flight 855, a Boeing 747, crashes into the Arabian Sea due to instrument failure and pilot error off the coast of Bombay, India, killing all 213 people on board. 1984, the original American telegraph company is divested of its 22 Bell System companies as a result of a settlement in the 1974 United States Department of Justice antitrust suit against AT&T. Yeah, they pretty much controlled the country in a way because they were the only real telephone company. And at the time, we didn't have internet, no other way to communicate. So obviously, this could be a problem if one company is pretty much running all of our communication systems. Yeah, so they broke them up. 1989, the Montreal Protocol comes into effect, stopping the use of chemicals contributing to the ozone depletion. That was like one of the real first things that I remember of, like, I wouldn't say the green movement, but, you know, environmental friendly laws or changing our ways to protect the environment. That's the first one I really remember. I know there was ones in the 70s and stuff like that, but that's the first one I remember. 2017, an attack on a nightclub in Istanbul, Turkey during a New Year's celebration kills at least 39 people and injures more than 60 others. God, people just, it makes no sense. I've got a lot of problems with a lot of stupid crap today. People being idiots. Movies released on January 1st, pretty much none. Yeah, no movies are released on January 1st. I guess obviously because other people are doing other things. On January 1st, they don't want to be out going to the movies. But 1993, Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman premieres. Yeah, that was a very popular show. When they eventually took it off the air, there were protests out in front of the studio that, produced it. It was pretty weird. A lot of people really loved that show. It had Jane Seymour and a bunch of other people. Born on January 1st, 1735, Paul Revere is born. Yeah, everyone knows him from The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. It was actually a poem about a man who warned us the British were coming. Now, there's a lot that goes into it and a lot of speculation on what really happened. Paul Revere was an American silversmith and engraver, an early industrialist basically, and he was a patriot of the American Revolution. He is best known for the Midnight Ride, like I said, in April of 1775 as the British forces approached before the Battle of Lexington and Concord. Anyway, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow wrote the poem, The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere, which, he dramatized it, and there was a couple things that didn't really happen. So Paul Revere went riding through what today is Somerville, Medford, and Arlington, Massachusetts. Revere's job was to warn patriots and citizens along his route, many of whom actually set out on horseback to deliver their own message. He was just telling them to go out on your ride and get the militias together. By the end of the night, there was as many as 40 riders throughout Middlesex County carrying the news of the Army's advance. Revere didn't shout out, "The British are coming," like the poem said. His mission was a secret. He went out secretly to tell everyone to go deliver their message, basically. At the time, the countryside was filled with British Army patrols, so it really wouldn't have made sense for him to, be riding through the middle of the night yelling this. And on top of that, there were still a lot of citizens in the Massachusetts area, pretty much all over New England, that still considered themselves part of Britain, British subjects, so not everyone was on board with the whole Revolutionary War thing. Revere's warning, according to eyewitnesses and his own description, was that he would go tell people the regulars are coming out or the regulars need to come out, basically telling the militias to get your guns and we're going to start fighting. What it really did was get all the people to move the cache of weapons and gunpowder they needed out of the city and to hiding places in the woods so they could use it in different battles. So yeah, I always found that one kind of interesting. 1919, J.D. Salinger is born, American soldier and author. 1969, Vern Troyer, American actor. He was Mini-Me. Sadly, he died in 2018. I never met the guy, but he always seemed so angry. I mean, he was on different interviews and he always seemed like he had a major chip on his shoulder. But who knows? Died on January 1st, 2015, Mario Cuomo, American lawyer and politician. He was the 52nd governor of New York State. Cuomo previously served as the lieutenant governor of New York from 1979-1982 and the Secretary of State of New York from 75 to 78. He was also the father of current New York Governor Andrew Cuomo and CNN news anchor Chris Cuomo. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Happy New Year. Let's hope for a better year. Everyone go out, have a great day, be nice to each other.